Today, we are cracking open the ultimate recipe book. We're talking about the one that cooked up our very own living planet. We're going to uncover the unique, delicate, and honestly powerful formula that makes Earth this vibrant haven for life in what seems to be a pretty empty universe. I mean, this is the big mystery, isn't it? You look out into the cosmos, you see billions of planets, and yet, as far as we know, this little blue marble is the only place that got the recipe just right. It's a total cosmic anomaly, and today we're going to break down exactly why. Just look at this. The sheer contrast is staggering. On one side, you've got our closest neighbor, Mars. Cold, barren, and, well, lifeless. And on the other, Earth, just bursting with color, with energy, and this incredible diversity of life. This really sets the stakes for our question. What in the universe makes these two worlds so fundamentally different? Okay, so to start, we need a real sense of scale here. Think about this for a second. Every single mountain, every ocean, every living thing exists on this incredibly fragile layer of our planet. I love this analogy. If the Earth were the size of an apple, that entire life-supporting layer, it would be no thicker than the apple's skin. That's it. That is our home. So, if our home is that delicate, what are the secret ingredients? Let's break down the 3 absolutely critical factors that make Earth the just right planet for life. So the first ingredient, it's all about location, location, location. Earth sits in what astronomers call the habitable zone, or my personal favorite, the Goldilocks zone. You know the story, right? Any closer to the sun, and our oceans would literally boil away. Any farther, and they'd freeze solid. But right here, it's perfect for liquid water, the absolute non-negotiable foundation for life as we know it. And just look at the numbers. Venus is sitting at a staggering 450 degrees Celsius. That's hot enough to melt lead. Now compare that to Earth's comfortable average of 15 degrees. That massive, massive difference? That's not just luck. It's a direct result of our perfect spot and our unique atmosphere. All right, on to the next key ingredient, our planet's size. Now, this is something we probably don't think about very often, but size is absolutely critical because it's what determines gravity. So it's all about finding that gravitational sweet spot. See, if Earth were smaller, say like Mars, its gravity would be way too weak to hold onto our atmosphere. The air would just drift off into space. But if Earth were much, much larger, its gravity would be so immense it could literally crush us. Our planet is the perfect size to hold our atmosphere close without holding us down. And hey, that atmosphere does way more than just give us air to breathe. It's our protector. There's a special part of it, the ozone layer, that acts like a planetary sunscreen, blocking the most dangerous UV radiation from the sun. I mean, without it, the sun's rays would shred living cells, making any kind of complex life on the surface completely impossible. Now for our third and final ingredient, and this one is pretty cool because you can't even see it, a powerful magnetic field, which is generated by the molten iron churning in Earth's core. This invisible shield is our planet's first line of defense. It's constantly deflecting a stream of high-energy particles shooting from the sun and deep space. We call it solar wind and cosmic rays. Without this magnetic field, those particles would just bombard our planet and, over time, slowly strip away our precious atmosphere. Okay, so we've got our 3 ingredients, the right location, the right size, and a magnetic shield. But you know what? The real magic isn't just the ingredients themselves. It's how they all work together to create this dynamic, living system. Scientists like to think of our planet as having 4 huge interconnected pillars. The atmosphere, that's the air, the hydrosphere, the water, the geosphere, the land, and the biosphere, which is all of life. And here's the crucial part. None of these exist on its own. A change in one, like the atmosphere heating up, directly impacts all the others. It's this incredibly intricate, delicate balance that keeps our planet running. So, the conditions are perfect for life to exist. Great. But that's just the start, right? The next huge question is, how does life, well, keep going? How does it survive for billions of years through ice ages, asteroid impacts, and massive planetary changes? The answer is surprisingly simple, but at the same time, really profound. It's reproduction. This is the fundamental process that ensures the continuity of life, period. It's how parents pass down the instruction manual for life, their genes, to the next generation, making sure their species carries on. Now, life basically uses 2 main strategies to do this. You've got asexual reproduction, which is fast and efficient. One parent just creates perfect clones of itself. But then you have sexual reproduction. And this is where things get really interesting. With two parents, it shuffles the genetic deck, creating a totally unique combination of genes in every single offspring. And this is the secret sauce to life's resilience. That genetic mixing is the engine of evolution. It creates variation, which means that when the environment changes, some individuals will naturally have new traits that help them survive. Over millions of years, this is what has allowed life to diversify and adapt to nearly every single corner of our planet. So we've seen how perfect and how resilient Earth's systems are, but this incredible balance, a balance that's been fine-tuned over billions of years, is now being disturbed at a rate we've never seen before. Scientists now refer to the challenges we're facing as the triple planetary crisis. And the keyword there is triple. This isn't three separate problems, but three deeply interconnected issues that are threatening the very systems that keep us alive. And here they are. Climate change, the loss of biodiversity, and pollution. And think about how they're connected for a second. A warming climate puts stress on ecosystems, right? That leads to biodiversity loss. And pollution, like plastics in our oceans, can harm species and disrupt the natural cycles that actually help regulate our climate. See? They aren't separate problems. They're a tangled crisis, and they feed off each other. The main driver of the climate part of this crisis is the burning of fossil fuels. What this does is release enormous amounts of carbon that were safely locked away underground for millions of years. We're essentially disrupting a long-term natural balance, causing the atmosphere to trap more and more heat and warm the planet way faster than our natural systems can handle. To try and tackle this, countries around the world came together and agreed to a target. We need to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius above what it was before the Industrial Revolution. That single number represents a critical threshold to avoid the most devastating impacts of climate change, and hitting that target, it requires immediate and massive action. So, we've explored the incredible recipe for life on Earth, and the very real threats now facing that delicate balance. And this brings us to the most important part of the entire story. What happens next? Because for the first time in our planet's history, the future of its life-sustaining systems is in the hands of a single species. Us. The recipe for a living planet was written over 4.5 billion years. But we are living in this absolutely unique moment where one of the ingredients, humanity, is now powerful enough to alter the entire formula. We hold the ingredients for the next chapter in our hands. So the question we're all left with is, what will we create?